I cannot be the only one that doesn't like how this movie has been marketed thus far. Don't worry, this is just one issue of many that I'm about to get into. But as this one is the most recent, I thought I would address it first. I am not gonna pay for a movie that I ain't got no interest in watching. Cough, cough. Avatar. Just to see a 1-minute teaser trailer for a nostalgia bait movie. There ain't even a correlation between the two. What, is a portal gonna open up and one of these blue people are gonna come and save the day alongside the Avengers and the X-Men? Listen, I'm joking, but at this point, I wouldn't even be surprised if that's what they were trying to do. I hate how these MCU Russo brother bots just pull up to every comment section to anyone who is remotely skeptical about the movie or even had any doubts about it in some way. And they group up and they make their voices loud and clear because they speak in unison to try to shut down or threaten those who voice their opposite opinions on Doomsday. People are allowed to have their own opinions. Y'all should try that someday. You people were just like me at one point and y'all hated how they were marketing this movie through Avatar. But a leak here, ooh, what's that? They dropped the trailer themselves. And what do you know? The leaks were true. We got our boy Steve Rogers back. We also got Thor back. Really back. It seems like the Russos are taking him back to his roots. The ones that sprouted in Ragnarok and the ones that flourished in Infinity War. What I'm trying to say is that Thor cut his hair. And I've seen the Steve Rogers trailer. By the time this video comes out, I would have already seen the Thor trailer too. Marvel gave y'all a couple of crumbs, and then you all lost your minds collectively and switched up. Do y'all not remember what the MCU has been like for the last 6 years? I've seen y'all say that just because the Russos are directing, that means that the movie is gonna be peak and it's gonna have no flaws. Listen, they pulled this movie together with strings and a whole lot of money going to one man's bank account. All these teasers they've been dropping, I'm nearly certain that they've been leaking this whole thing themselves. And I'm not just talking about the visual leaks, I'm talking about plot lines. Tell me how, before the leaks even dropped, before they even showed the Steve Rogers trailer, people had already allegedly figured out that this movie is supposed to take place right after Avengers Endgame. So let's take it back a little bit, okay? Remember the perfect way that they ended Avengers Endgame, you know? Cap got to go back, live out his dream life, assumingly so with Peggy. Aww. But then we also saw future Cap sitting there with the shield in his bag, waiting to give it to Sam Wilson, the new Captain America at the time, the current Captain America right now. Get that through your racist minds. Are we really about to scrap all of that? For what? So you can make a couple extra dollars because you spent too much money on one guy? We'll get back to him later. Putting Steve Rogers in Avengers Doomsday, especially if you bring him back as Captain America. How fucking rude is that of y'all? Just by releasing this trailer, in my opinion, you've already made Sam Wilson seem like the lesser Captain America. I may speak about this in another video altogether, but the MCU set up Sam Wilson and Anthony Mackie, in my opinion, for failure with the Brave New World movie. With the representation of Captain America in the last 6 years, we've got more of Peggy Carter as Captain Carter than we've gotten of Sam Wilson as Captain America. It's genuinely ridiculous. And now what? Is he about to get sidelined for a dude who's past his prime? For a dude who's had his time? And I love Steve Rogers more than just about any character in the MCU. But bringing him back, especially when he had a grand send-off, is so damn disrespectful. Not just to the source material, but to Anthony Mackie and his version of Captain America. And in the last 5+ years, do you know how much BS the MCU has force-fed us down our throats? You made me watch She-Hulk twice, because my girlfriend wasn't around the first time. We sat through Ironheart, Agatha All Along. Nobody asked for that show. I feel like Wanda fans didn't even want that show. WandaVision was alright. Moon Knight was great. Loki season 1 and 2 were impeccable, but everything else that the MCU has dropped, TV show-wise, has been garbage. The Fantastic Four movie was okay. You know, I'd give it like a 7 out of 10. Thunderbolts, 8 out of 10. But tell me this, do y'all remember 2 scenes from Eternals? What do you remember about Multiverse of Madness? Did they go into the multiverse? Yes. Was it mad? Not really. Y'all ruined Wanda's character and turned her into an absolute villain, a monster, an unredeemable piece of shit. If none of that is gonna matter, all the slop you put us through, why would you waste your money, your resources, and most importantly, our time? Money comes back, Marvel. Our time doesn't. I don't know if y'all noticed, but they only finished writing the script for this movie while they were recording the movie. They were coming up with this shit as they went along. This is a recipe for disaster. This is the Hollywood equivalent of coming up with your answers for an exam on zero study. You might get lucky, like your girlfriend's boyfriend, and your answers might fuck. But what'll happen in the majority of cases is a complete and utter embarrassing failure. The cast is way too big. You're not only bringing back previously written off characters, but characters from other universes. We're about to get the Avengers of old, the new Avengers, the X-Men, the Thunderbolts, the Fantastic Four. I should have put them here. We will not have enough screen time to tell a good story for everybody. And apparently, there was a lot more cast members that didn't get revealed because they want to save those parts for the full trailer and the movie itself. Seems like Disney's still trying to keep a couple of surprises. And I've heard a lot of talk about legacy characters returning, which just makes me feel like a lot of the people that we saw get a seat in that first initial teaser that they did with the chairs. Why do I feel like a lot of them are gonna die pretty early on in the movie? And when you really sit back and think about it, all of this is crazy because this whole situation is happening because they fired Jonathan Majors. Now let's talk about money. They're paying Robert Downey Jr. more money than 99.3% of people see in their lifetimes, just to be on screen for a possible total of anywhere from 13 to 23 minutes. Even for one whole movie, that's too much money. Even for an entire trilogy, that's too much money. Even for the MCU Infinity Saga, that is too much fucking money. At some point, they've got to admit that this experiment that they've been testing on us on Disney Plus for the last 6 years has been an epic failure. The characters we wanted to see more of, we got much less of. While it seems like they were trying their best to push Ironheart and She-Hulk down our throats. And no, it's not because they're women, it's because they were poorly written. One of my favorite characters in the MCU is Yelena Belova. She's already had more character development than Natasha Romanoff. The fact that they even had to bring back one character practically from the dead just shows how little faith that Marvel had in their ability to put asses in seats. If this Avengers movie was about Miss Marvel, Kate Bishop, the Thunderbolts, Sam Wilson's Captain America and friends. So many MCU storylines have just been dropped in the last couple of years. It's ridiculous. Kang's storyline, obviously, but also the Eternals as a whole. The Black Knight, the new Blade, the ending of She-Hulk with Hulk and his kid, and much more. A lot of it got dropped for good reason, but this all accumulates into one thing. I do not trust Marvel to deliver in this movie. I don't trust them to produce anything good from here forward. From Moon Knight to Loki season 2 and forward, I haven't trusted these niggas. They have more slop than hot drops on their roster in the current day MCU, and I am beyond tired of it. I'm excited for Spider-Man, Daredevil Born Again Season 2, The Punisher Special, but that's about it. I care very little for anything else. And believe me, nobody loves MCU Thor more than I do. I've seen Love and Thunder multiple times. Don't get me wrong, the movie was trash, but Thor as a character is always entertaining. Nobody loves James Marsden as Cyclops more than I do, but the fact that we have had zero build-up to this movie across half a dozen movies now, my excitement for Doomsday is at an all-time low. You can give me all the comic accuracy you want in these trailers. You can bring back all the dead characters. You can show off one of my favorite teams in comic book history, the X-Men, which is probably the largest reason why I'm somewhat happy to go see this movie. But I'm not gonna eat these crumbs that you're dropping. I need full-scale proof that this movie is gonna deliver. And believe me, I want it to. But I've got some high expectations for all of this now. I'm expecting this movie to be 3 hours long. Anything less than that is fucking unacceptable. In my heart, I want them to succeed. We need them to. And I want this movie to blow my mind, but in reality, this movie is more likely to be a disaster. Avengers Doomsday is potentially doomed. I just feel it. Something is gonna be wrong with it. I just don't know what yet. There's too many people in the cast. I just feel like we're not gonna get enough story out of it. It'll either need to be very long or extremely fast-paced. And I think that Marvel could fail. At least in the eyes of people who aren't just looking at it as a superhero beat-em-up movie. I'm talking about the people who go there for peak cinema. To those of which who actually care about the story elements and not just how good the CGI looks during a boss fight. Let me get a like on this video. Share it to a friend of yours ASAP and subscribe. And man, I got a goddamn headache. Like a bigger one than your auntie could give. Thank you very much to my God tier members, whether that be on my Patreon or my YT memberships. Because of you, I was able to pay all of my bills on time, so thank you very much. Do you have any of your own genuine concerns about the Doomsday movie, or do you perhaps share some of mine? Or do you think otherwise? Let's debate about it. If you do, let me know in the comments below and I'ma be seeing you. Bye.